Hey, you are tuned in to the Lick Show, Hits 92.3 with your girl Kels. And you know, I'm never here on Monday, but it is so many things that I want to talk about that I had to come in. Okay, one of the things that I do want to talk about is the movie Straw. So that is my disclaimer. If you have not seen Straw yet, when we come back from this break, you may want to wait a little bit before you come back because I'm talking all about it. And I want to talk about dating styles. I went live yesterday on Facebook, on Instagram, and just talking about either dating each person exclusively or dating multiple people until you decide you want to date one person individually. So that is what we're going to talk about when we come back. We'll be right back. Lick Show hits 92.3. You are now tuned in to Hits 92.3, where we take great pride in personal expression of one's feelings, thoughts, or ideals. What you're getting ready to hear on this show are the opinions of the hosts and their guests, and they do not reflect the opinions of Hits 92.3 radio station, the brand, management, staff, their respective advertisers, parent companies, or affiliates. Now stay tuned as this show begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Body image and positivity are major impacts in today's society. At Nurse to Beauty, we believe in bringing the beauty from within to the forefront. For those of you who are planning to have cosmetic surgery, Nurse to Beauty is ready and available for all of your postoperative needs. My name is Dontricia Dunham, and I am the registered nurse and owner. I have over 10 years of experience with emergency medicine that has aided me in giving quality medical care for cosmetic surgery clients. We specialize in a number of safe and effective options and solutions to help you achieve your ideal body image. Have a one-on-one virtual consultation via phone or private suite location. Have your lymphatic therapies and all other postoperative needs performed by a licensed medical professional. Mobile postoperative services are also available upon request. Not interested in cosmetic surgery at this time? No worries. We also provide an array of body modification services to fulfill all of your beauty enhancement requests. We understand how costly aftercare can be after a cosmetic surgery. Ask about our affordable payment plans today with instant approval and no hard credit check. Log on to www.nursetobeauty.com for more information. Call or text 404-849-0260. For education, client transformations, and reviews, follow all of our social medias at Nurse to Beauty. See you next time.
92.3, and I want to talk about the movie Straw. I had never seen a preview. I didn't know the movie was even coming out. All I did was wake up. I went on Instagram and I could have literally like had my finger going really fast to scroll past. And everybody was talking about, oh my gosh, that movie made me cry. The movie made me cry. I saw it the night before, but I didn't know what somebody was talking about. But the next morning, Saturday morning, it was like I couldn't get online without everybody talking about it. And I'm a person like, I want to see it for myself. So I was like, before I do anything today, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to talk about this movie because if I don't, somebody's going to spoil it for me. So this is my disclaimer that I'm about to talk about the movie Straw. If you don't plan to watch it, right? Okay. If you plan to watch it and you just haven't got around to watching it yet, you may want to come back in like 15 minutes. And then we'll be talking about relationships of different dating styles, my dating styles that I talked about on Instagram yesterday, and why I would want to get married after 40. So those are what we're going to talk about after I talk about this movie really, really fast. So the movie Straw, first I'll say what the movie was about. A single mother navigates a series of unfortunate events leading her down an unforeseen path where she becomes embroiled in a situation that she never envisioned, finding herself in the center of suspicion in an indifferent world. So, pretty much Taraji's character's name was Janaya. Janaya, of course, was a single mom, but beyond her being a single mom, her daughter was pretty much dying. Her daughter was very, very sick. She lived in the projects. She had two jobs to try to pay for the medicine that she couldn't afford for her daughter. And so her daughter would always be sick. Um, Child Protective Services came to the school. The principal told the Child Protective Service that she came to school hungry some days, and the mom was like, "There's only certain things that she can eat. She can't eat everything." So she was like, she only feeds her what the doctors tell her that she can eat. But I guess the girl is still hungry. Regardless if she's hungry or not, the mom was going by the doctor's orders. She came to school with bruises one time. Again, the daughter is sick. She suffers severe seizures. She is at an age where she wants to bathe herself. So she was trying to let her daughter feel like a human to bathe herself. She slipped and fell in the tub and bruised herself. So she went to school with bruises. They were like, she comes to school hungry. She comes to school bruised up, and then they said sometimes she comes to school dirty. So the mom, again, is struggling because she had to get a second job to afford the medicine to take care of her daughter, that sometimes she doesn't pay the gas bill. So if she doesn't have gas, she doesn't have hot water. So then that means she has to boil hot water to create a bath for her. So she may not be as clean some days versus other days. So those are all her behind the scenes things that are going on versus what's being portrayed at the school. The school did nothing wrong, in my opinion, because if the girl comes to school hungry, she looks like she's getting abused, and she's not clean, then obviously she's in a home that is inconducive for a child to be in, not knowing what the mother is actually going through. So that you're looking at a child and you're going to already make your assumptions of what's going on versus what's really going on behind the scenes. So that's the behind the scenes story of the character Janaya. Meanwhile, the beginning of the movie, she leaves to go to work, and she has the little girl with her, and she's like rushing her down the stairs. She stops by this homeless guy and gives him some change. So she's already struggling, but she's still nice enough to help somebody in need. The landlord sees her, and the landlord immediately is like, "How are you giving out money when you owe me rent? If you don't have my money by today, your stuff is going to be out on the side of the street." So she has this mentality like she's got to hurry and get her child to school. On top, oh, the daughter said too. The daughter was like, "I need that $40 balance for my lunch because until you pay it, I have to eat the special food." So the teacher said this to her in front of the entire class, which already I'm going off on the teacher. So the teacher embarrassed her, and she was like, can you please bring the money to the school today so that they'll stop picking on me?" Because the teacher embarrassed her in front of everybody. So the mom's thinking, okay, when I get paid, she just kept saying, "I get paid today." So she's like, "When I cash my check, I'm going to bring the money to the school so you can have regular lunch like everybody else." This is before she leaves out the door. She goes out the door. She gets into it with the landlord. The landlord is like, "If I don't have my money today, your stuff is going to be on the side of the road." So she's telling the landlord the same thing. "I get paid today. As soon as I cash my check, I'm bringing you the money for the rent. I have it. I just need to get my check." She was like, "On my lunch break today, I'll go cash the check and I'll bring it to you. So not even when I get off of work, when I get a chance during my break, I'll bring you the money for the rent." She gets to work. Of course, the manager is a whole complete asshole. He's like very mean to her, screaming at her, doing this and the third. The teacher calls, and they're saying that Child Protective Services, this is when that happens. Child Protective Services is at the school. So she tells the manager that she has to leave to go to the daughter's school. He gives her 30 minutes. Unless the school is across the street, she's going to need way more than 30 minutes. So she asks him for the check. He won't give her the check because he's like, "I gave you 30 minutes. Why? How are you going to have time to go to the school and cash a check?" So he's like, "No, you can't have your check." So she stops at the bank because she needs to get this $40 to the school. The bank doesn't cash her check because why didn't they cash her check? She didn't have her ID, I believe it was. I can't remember. I can't remember the first time she went to the bank. Why? Oh no, she wasn't trying to cash her check. She was trying to get money, but she didn't have enough in her account to try to withdraw, so they wouldn't give it to her because it would shut her account down. So she leaves the bank, goes to the school. They take her daughter from her. This is why they're having her at the school, to let her know that your kid ain't coming home with you, going into the system until we figure out what's going on at home. They need to do an investigation. They need to come to the house. So she's got all of this on her mind. She goes back to work. 2 hours later, boss fires her because she's gone for 2 hours instead of 30 minutes, like she said. He feels like it's always something going on with your kid. You're always making excuses of why you need to leave early. I've tried to work with you. You got to go. Uh, she leaves to go home, and all of her stuff is out on the street because she didn't come on her lunch break to bring the money. It's pouring down raining. So, of course, in Tyler Perry style, you got to make it extra for no reason. It's pouring down raining. All the stuff is outside. The daughter's medicine, if you see, is laying in the grass. So they didn't even care that the daughter was on medicine. They just threw everything outside. She goes back to work to try to get the check from her boss because he told her, no, you're fired. We got to mail you the check. So just imagine this is your day. This is all in one day. I wake up, my daughter's getting picked on at school. I'm about to lose my apartment. My boss is cussing me out. I lose my daughter. I can't cash my check because I don't have enough money in the bank. It's going to close my account out. And I got to wait for my check to be mailed because I just got fired. So I can't save my apartment. I get home and all my stuff is out in the street in the rain. And it's probably like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The day ain't even done. And so she's bawling her eyes out, screaming outside. She goes back to her job to beg and plead her boss to give her her check, and they get robbed. In the midst of them getting robbed, she shoots and kills the robber. Um, the boss calls the police because he feels like she set him up because it was just too coincidental that the minute she comes back, they get robbed, and she kills the killer and she kills him. So then she goes, gets she all the money on the table that they tried to rob from them. She didn't touch any of it. She didn't take a cent of it. All she wanted was her paycheck. She grabs her paycheck off the table and she goes to the bank, and it's blood all over this paycheck. She goes to the bank, tries to cash the check. The lady's like, no problem. I just need your ID, which they do in bank form. You have to have some type of form of ID to cash a check. Um, she doesn't have it. She's like, I lost my ID. I don't have it. So the lady's like, I'm sorry, I can't help you. Janaya is like, I come in here all the time. I was just here this morning. You've helped me several times. You know I am the person that I say I am. Cash the check. Lady's like, procedure wise, this is my job. I can't lose my job because of you. Of course, I've seen you before. I know you. I have to have your ID. She puts the gun on the table and she's frustrated. Now she's snapped. She's already snapped, I feel like, when she killed the two people at the job. She puts the gun on the table, on the counter, and she's like, cash the check, cash the check. The lady next to him hits the silent alarm, which alerts the police that there is a robbery in session. And that's where the whole day is pretty much her in the bank, trying to figure out how to get out of the bank. Oh, I forgot something major. On her way to work, she cuts a car off getting in another lane, not knowing it was a police officer. I'm assuming he was either an undercover cop or he was off because he wasn't in a noticeable cop car. He gets out and threatens her life in front of another cop. He like wanted to take her to jail, and because the female cop stepped in and was like, you too hot, like you can't handle the situation, let me handle it. He pointed at Janaya and was like, I'm gonna figure out, he said, I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna figure out a way to kill you. He was that mad. Like he had serious road rage to where he hit her car, sending her car spinning out of control. Not only did he send her car spinning out of control, that's when he went up to her and was like, you're a dead woman. He was literally that mad. So I don't know what he had going on that day, or he's just an angry cop. But they showed a cop that was just a little too excessive in his position, and he threatened to kill her, and he probably would have if the other cop didn't step in. So that was the major part of the movie, I feel like, of where I took this whole thing a different way. So in the midst of the whole day trying to figure out how to get out of the bank alive, she knew she was going to go to jail for murder. She knew she was going to lose her daughter because she killed two people. What she didn't want was the cop that they showed on TV, because the whole thing is on TV now, it's televised. The cop was there. Only thing she asked was for that cop to not be there when she gets outside to surrender. So the whole movie is trying to figure out who the cop is, who wrote her the ticket, all this other stuff. Plus, they think she got a bomb in her bag because the daughter had a science project and it kept blinking. So they thought it was a bomb. So the whole movie, they're thinking it's a lady with a gun and a bomb in the bank trying to rob them. The ending of the movie. So if you listen this far and you like, oh, she ain't telling too much. So I'm telling the end. I'm about to tell it right now. The end of the movie, she convinces one of the ladies, one of the tellers in the bank went live on social media and it made it to the news. And everybody in the world or whoever could see their local channel her whole day. Like, my daughter's sick. I lost my job. I just lost my house. Like, I worked too hard. She was like, I'm so tired all the time. She was like pleading. So of course, anybody listening to that has a heart, that's struggling, that probably lived in her neighborhood, even the landlord felt bad. Everybody was listening to her story. And by the end, she convinced the bank manager to take her daughter when she goes to jail, because she's like, can you please foster my daughter until I get out? The lady's like, no problem, I got you, I got your back. Because the people that were in the bank was understanding where she was coming from. She wasn't trying to hurt anybody, she didn't hit anybody, she didn't threaten to kill anybody, any of that. So the ending, how it all played out, the mom called. They found the cops, so they got the cop off the scene, and she was ready to surrender. FBI had stepped in by that point, and they, of course, like some cops are excessive in their position, they didn't care that she wanted to surrender. They wanted to be right. They didn't want her to win and for it to end peacefully. They told her what to do, she didn't do it, so now they're going to do it their way, regardless of her saying that she would surrender. They just like, forget her wanting to surrender, we going in, she ain't got to come out, we going in. So her mom calls, and she's explaining to her mom why all of this is happening. She was like, I didn't do anything wrong, I didn't hurt anybody, I'm just trying to cash my check so I can make sure, the daughter is good, da da da. The mom is like, she died last night, what are you talking about? She died last night. So this whole movie, she snapped. I'm like about to cry again. It's like so sad. It's like mental health.
That's what my homegirl said. She said it's a mental health movie,
It's a
but
mental
I
health
I
movie.
definitely can't watch.
Yeah, and I deal with that too.
Yeah,
So
I can't definitely can't watch.
I'm gonna finish it, but let me take a quick break. Oh, you got something to say? Then they'll give me a chance to get myself together.
So I am one of those people who be like, I can't watch movies like that. I was talking about it earlier on my show where I was just like, I prefer movies where, the main character could have been black, white, whatever. It doesn't miss. It was a what's it called, movie, like a sci-fi movie or something like that,
Mhm.
like Will Smith in that movie After Earth or something like that. I'd rather watch stuff like that
Mhm.
for what's going on with you right now.
Yeah.
It's so close to us. We can feel that trauma bond so deep that even though it's not me experiencing it, even you talking about it just now, my whole heart, my chest was so tight.
I got
you
hot.
you know exactly, you know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
And I understand what you're saying as far as we have to watch this stuff so that we can have the empathy for people and things like that, but it also keeps us in a place sometimes, like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, like look at what you're feeling right now, you know what I mean, and you're going to feel that and bring that with you for a while.
Mhm.
And for me, it was like, okay, everywhere I'm at in our neighborhood, while I'm riding around and I'm Ubering and stuff, everywhere in our neighborhoods, they are pushing the hell out of that movie. It's on the bus stops, it's on all kinds of big billboards. You see it everywhere. But the moment you go into Buckhead, you don't
Mhm.
see that.
Mhm.
The moment you go into Austell, you don't see that. They're not pushing that over there to them. Why they only pushing it to us if it's about empathy? If it's
Mhm.
about teaching people what's going on. Something you said about in the movie that would have triggered the hell out of me. That teacher saying she comes to school dirty. Okay, it's a whole movement of people on TikTok talking about they don't wash their hands or their legs and they white.
Mhm.
So why is it that when our kids are unkempt that it's an issue for defects, but when their kids are unkempt, it's a lifestyle choice?
Mhm.
I can't watch
So.
stuff like that because it really triggers me. It triggers me.
Mhm.
And I knew for me it was going to be an issue when I was young and I went to the movie theater and I saw A Long Kiss Goodnight. You remember that movie?
Mm-mm.
It's the movie with Samuel L. Jackson, Matthew McConaughey, and he delivers that line, "Hell yeah, I killed him, and I hope they burn in hell." Because the guys had raped his daughter, and so he found him and killed him or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He
After,
snapped.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
I I identify with the snapped person
Mhm.
so much
Mhm.
that I don't want to be
No, I
that
get
person after
it.
the movie is over and you come talk to me and you're a regular person and I'm ready to see you from the me from
Yeah.
being in
No, I
that
get it.
movie. You
I
see what
get
I'm
it.
saying?
Yeah.
I can't turn it
So
off. I can't just watch it and be okay. So let me just watch Kung Fu Panda.
I feel you. But I feel like these types of movies, and I talked on it a little bit on Facebook. So it triggered me, not necessarily in a way that I want to shut it off and never see it again. I'm proud of where I am. So to see that is like I was there before and I didn't work through the issues. I didn't like I have support. She didn't. So it's like, oh, if she just gets support. But because it was televised, I would have loved the ending to be different. But my I made my kids watch it. And my goddaughter was like, "Oh, I wish it would have had a happy ending."
Life don't
And I
have a
wish
happy
I didn't
ending.
say it, but in a way I'm glad I said, "Baby, we black. We
Mhm.
don't have happy endings." I like the fact that he doesn't make his movies to always be happy endings because that's sometimes a fairy tale. The reason I feel like it's important to see these types of movies is to be like, okay, I'm not crazy. This happens. These are things that can happen to make somebody react in
Do
that
you
kind of way.
do you feel that same way about period pieces movies where we are depicted as slaves, or they're always talking about how it was when we were slaves, and then they're showing some white savior come in and he really liked us, and so he, it wasn't that bad? Do you watch those? Are you okay? Because like I tell people all the time, I cannot watch the Django.
I don't.
I cannot watch the Django. I saw it one time. Everybody's like, "That's my favorite movie. I watch it
I
over and over
love
again."
Django.
I cannot watch the Django.
I love Django. I
No.
love Django because I love Samuel L. Jackson.
I can't watch it.
The reason I love Django, and don't let me forget my points on that one. This is helping me to calm back down. The reason I like Django so much is because I feel like we needed Samuel L. Jackson's character. We didn't have that. Well, there could have been somebody like that back then, but we'll never read or know about them. When he, not him, I'm sorry, Jamie Foxx, how he was acting towards those white folks. We needed that. We feel like we had all of the Samuel L. Jacksons. I love him, and I feel like that was his way of picking on white folks too. Because I feel like Samuel Jackson truly just don't like white people. He would never probably say it out loud, but I feel like the roles that he takes is is those little jabs that we need. Like, we see you, sir. We know what you're doing. They may not know what you're doing, but we know what you're doing. Django to me was like um how we wish we could be. Like when he started whooping them, that's why I like Django. Because it shows how some of us, like my ex was very heavy in police brutality and very heavy in um protesting. And I probably, honestly, to say it out loud, was one of the people that probably encouraged him to be radical. He wouldn't let me out there because I'm probably way more radical than he is. And I literally, when we would go out places, I would get triggered by police officers and I'm already talking. And he's like, I have to be the one to be the man in this situation while you mouthing off, because I'm like, y'all just gonna have to kill me. I stepped in front of somebody before because I felt like a cop was gonna do something. So I'm that person. So I like to see the things that we go through. One, so we feel like we're not alone. But the things that we consider to be bad that he shows, like he's showing the struggle of black folks. He's showing like the bad side of men not taking care of their kids and women staying with a man that treats her bad. You should be embarrassed. That's why I think we should watch these movies. You should be embarrassed so that you can change the way that you act, the way that you treat yourself, the way you allow yourself to be treated. That's why I think these movies are important.
Okay, so on the other end,
Mm-hmm.
on the other end of that, that's almost like saying that that is only for white people. I mean, black people. Like black people only deal with that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I can't watch it because
He ain't no other race. Well,
but-
how he gonna tell
no,
how
no,
white
no,
people live?
no. Okay. So I'll give you a for example. How we have these slave movies all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Name me how many how many Jewish movies or how many movies about Jewish people and Holocaust can you name that come out every year?
They ain't suffering.
But it's not. But they did
If
suffer in
we
the
weren't
past.
suffering, do you
they
think we
killed,
would care about all that
but
stuff?
but Okay, but as of right now in our history, say something anti-Semitic and see how they step up. So it's like their history is definitely something
But
that
what
they
did you
won't
just
let you
say?
forget. You
What
forget
did you just
about.
say?
Wait, let me finish it.
They step up.
They but they also don't allow people to keep bringing up their past and throwing it in their face, whereas we go and celebrate it and go to the movies about it. I'm not going to keep, like, okay, I'll give you a for example, and this ain't even an old one. It's not even about slavery, and I still can't watch it. Fruitville Station.
I don't
And
know
that's
about
a
that one.
real story about what happened with those boys at
Oh.
the, and I know, I remember the story when it happened. I
Mm-hmm.
can't watch it. I can't. It's so hard. Like, and I get it. I get it. It's our history. What's the movie? Till, the Emmett Till story. Can't
Mm-hmm.
watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
can't
haven't
watch.
watched that one.
Yeah, I
I
can't watch
haven't
it.
watched it.
The
I
only
haven't
one
watched
that
that
I've
not
been able to
because of the
watch
movie.
lately was Hidden Figures. But look at it. It was the positive side of it. You know
And
what I'm
how
saying?
many people talk about that? How many black people talk about
And
that?
that's a shame.
Thank you.
And it's
We
a
will,
shame.
so this is my point. This, you just proved my point. We're gonna have some black people that are gonna support black just simply because we black. That's me. I'm gonna support simply because we black. We got some black people that live on the side of fair, right or wrong, no matter the race, no matter the age, no matter the gender. And we keep seeing movies where white people do not care about black people. You just said they don't show this stuff in Buckhead, but we still would be like, they not doing that over there, or we will still do what we need to appease every other race instead of simply because we black, we gonna support. Whether it's good, bad, customer service is horrible. We can go to the Asian stores still to this day, and they have a reputation of not trusting us and following us around the store and not respecting us. We can go there every day for a year and they will never know your name. And we keep supporting them because we need the stuff. We don't care about none of that. Go to a black store and they cussed you out one good time. I ain't never going there. That's why I don't support black businesses. Black people pick and choose when to care about our own race until it's thrown in our face like a mirror. Then it's a problem.
And I mean, that's part of how we've been conditioned to believe.
So change
I
it.
mean, but you can't just change 400 years
We
of
I wasn't
mental
born 400
oppression
years
or
ago.
mental warfare.
Neither one
But
of us.
you,
We keep saying that, and it's even with us
but
saying
it's not,
400 years ago.
it's not
We're
just
not
about the
400
fact
years
that
ago.
it's not just about that though. They have proven that certain stuff becomes embedded in your DNA,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'll give you a prime example. No one has ever took a baby and said snakes are bad.
Mm-hmm.
Snakes are scary, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you put a snake near a toddler and they gonna lose their crap because somewhere embedded in our DNA it has been forced upon us.
I disagree with. I think a toddler would pick that up and play with it until a parent teaches them that it's a bad thing.
I think it depends
on kids play with each other because they don't know no better. They'll pick up crap off the ground and eat it because they don't know any better. They'll pick up bugs and eat the bug because they don't know any better. I would pick, not me as a child, I would pick up a snake because I don't know it bites. Until I'm taught, get away from that snake. Now I'm scared of the snake, and that the owner of that snake could have had the teeth removed. I don't know that. I just know snakes are bad and they bite.
So
until I'm taught they bite or I feel it myself.
And I feel like as Black people, we've been taught that from the beginning of our existence. You're like,
and now you
even
got
now,
all this
like
stuff
even
to
now,
show you can make a different decision.
But if you have the system and society pushing you back into it, like you just said, she was trying to do everything she was trying to do, but the system, the way it was coming at her and setting up, she still got forced back into her box. No matter what she was trying to do, she was trying to do right. Like you said, just do what you're supposed to be doing, right? Do right. But okay, I am. And
I think in her sense,
it's still not working for me, or it still don't work out. I feel like some stuff for certain people are strong enough to be able to consume it and let it go. You know what I mean? Some people consume it and it becomes a part of them and they can't let it go. And I feel like I'm one of those people, so I'm very particular about how and what I consume. Like, people laugh at me. Friend of mine comes over, kicks it with me, sits in the car, laughs at me because When I sit in the car and I do whatever I'm doing, or my
Mhm.
my downtime, I'm watching Bob's Burgers or I'm watching Futurama. And even though I've seen all of these episodes thousands of times, I'm filtering this stuff because it's quote unquote wholesome
Gotcha. I
compared
get
to
you.
being able to consume some of the other stuff that we deal with every day. Otherwise, I think I would be more so like some of these people who are walking around on 10 and
Yeah.
high and mad. Even our friend who has the show, who said she couldn't do the show for a couple of months because of everything that was going on in the community, and she was consuming all of it. And it was,
I
I
get
feel
it.
like
I
that
promise
about the,
you.
yeah, I feel like that
Like
about the movies and
during
stuff. We
the
can't consume all of that all the time. And unfortunately for us, a lot of the cinema or a lot of the TV that they put out is back to back, that.
but
And
that's
that's how
just
I
our
feel about
reality.
Tyler.
So like for instance, police brutality. We don't see that on TV anymore. It's not popular. Does that mean it's not happening anymore? Do you think about police brutality ever
Every day.
outside of that?
Every day.
Do you think the average person, the average black person today in 2025 at all from January 1st to what is today, June 9th? How often do you think they think about black police brutality? The average black person.
I
If you could do a percentage
I
compared to when it was on TV.
but see, for me, I feel like I don't consume TV anyways
Well,
because I
social
watch
media. I
stream.
didn't
No, no,
watch
no.
TV either, but it was on
I watch,
social
but
media.
on my
So
social
I would
media,
say
it's
when
on
it
there
was
for me
on
all the
social
time.
media, we saw it all the time. We cared. Now that we don't see it, we don't care
I think
because we
that's
don't see
whatever
it.
social media you're consuming. Cause see, I consume a lot of news. I consume a
You,
lot
I
of
said that
politics.
the average person where you saw it on TV, whether you
But
had
I
social
am an
media
average
or not.
person.
No, I'm talking about not just sunshine. I'm talking about black people as a whole. If you could do a percentage, I don't see anybody posting on social media the way they used to. The average person that don't care about the people that say just do the right thing and make sure you just put your hand behind your back and make sure you do this. They would say all that stuff. You don't see them making them type of posts anymore. Guess why? Because they don't see it. That don't mean it's not happening anymore. It's not the popular thing to talk about, but it's still happening. And because we don't talk about it and we don't care about it, people are fighting. Somebody see my son. My son got killed last night. Somebody see it. Somebody see it. We don't see it. So we don't care. But that person is still dealing with it. It doesn't go away. But because we don't see it, that's your problem. You figure out how to deal with that in your personal life, other than it being televised. That's how I see Tyler Perry's movies. They can take it all off TV, and the couple of people who do care that can make a difference, they don't know why we act the way we act. They don't know why we have attitudes when we talk. We don't have an attitude. That's just how we talk. But if you got into our world and understood why we come from where we come from and how we act, and how we talk, and why we think how we think, and why we're scared of the police, and why we don't trust the white man, maybe y'all will understand it a little better. Yeah, they're not going to post that in Buckhead because they good. I'm not going to post that in my neighborhood that such and such and such and such, and I'm not living it. That's not my reality. But I, as a black person, can watch something on TV, a person who has never lived in the hood. I've never lived a hood a day in my life. And I could still empathize with the person that lived in the hood. So after watching certain movies of why people act the way they act, when I go on certain sides of town, I understand why they talk to me the way they talk to me, or
I
why
don't
they
think white
act the
people
way that they
understand
act.
or get that empathy when
Because
they
they
watch
don't,
it. I
that's
don't.
not
I
their
don't think
life.
they. I don't think they. I don't
They
even think
won't.
if they watch it, whether it's their life or not, I don't think that they see the empathy within it. Just like I mean, again, I could be a cynic. I don't like shows like Blackish. I didn't watch Blackish, and the
Mhm.
reason why I didn't watch Blackish is because I could tell that it's pandering to Caucasian people trying to teach them about being black. That's for y'all to watch. I don't need to watch Blackish to know
I get it.
everything. The
I didn't
stuff
really
that,
watch Blackish
yeah, the
either.
stuff that you telling me, I grew up, I lived this life. I don't need
Mhm.
you to explain this to me. If that's the case, if that's what you're doing it for, then that's cool. This is a real good, like, what they call it, school special or whatever. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's they made it digestible
Yeah.
and
And
easy for,
educational.
right,
It was
for
very, very
other, for, right,
educational.
for other,
Yeah.
and they slipped the comedy in there, and they had
Mhm.
black people that all looked, fairly light skinned, and they were okay with being on, they were whatever.
Mhm.
But okay, okay,
Gotcha.
So Blackish was on how many years, and how many white people have come over and been like, you know what, I used to watch Blackish and I was watching this show and it made me
How
feel
many
like
white
this, that,
friends
and
do
the
you
third.
have?
Now that is
And this is what white people, I mean, this is what black people say all the time. White people aren't, I have white friends, I have Asian friends. Guess what? They having the same conversations. They just not fighting each other. White people gonna stick with white people. Asian gonna stick with Asian people. Black people, it just depends.
Right.
It
But
depends.
again, we've had a whole system set up to keep us separated from each other, to keep us not a part of each other. They literally stopped us from speaking our languages
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't want us to be able to group together. You know what I mean? They literally pinned us against each other, color, like light skin color versus dark skin color, something that none of us had a choice with.
Right.
And the only reason why we were different colors was because they was raping us.
So
You know what I'm saying? So then you use that
I
against
get
us.
all of that.
It's
I get
not,
all of that. But
you
then you
know.
have generations of families that went to college. I personally didn't go to college. But you have families. Some black people were like, I don't know any of this. I didn't grow up like this. My mama didn't grow up like this. Granted, way back 400 years ago they did, but somewhere along the line somebody made a difference and was like, you know what, that's not going to be my kids,
But it
that's
wasn't.
not going to be my husband. And they've changed the dynamic of certain stuff. Like, again, I've never lived in the hood, so I can't relate to teach my kids how it is to be in the hood. So when I pass down whatever I pass down to my kids, what they learn from me living in suburb, they're going to teach their kids, and they're probably going to want to live suburb. They're not going to have the conversation of 400 years ago they did this to us and blah 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 blah. I don't mean to say blah, it sounds like I don't
Get you.
care,
No.
but it's almost like, how many generations of change do you need to understand that you can make changes?
Okay, so I got a question for you. It's not for, well, it's not a question, it's more so a statement.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about it being 400 years and we say that so all, like, even I just said it, 400 years or whatever. But if we're being honest with it, we're only like 2 generations, 3 generations removed. Us.
Right.
Not
I get it.
everybody, us in
Yeah.
our 40s, because my great grandmother, who I knew and talked to, was born in 1900.
Mm-hmm.
They were definitely still slaves in 1900.
Mm-hmm.
My great grandmother could tell me that her mother and her father picked cotton and she was out there picking cotton with them.
Mm-hmm.
We're not that far removed.
Did your grandma pick cotton?
My grandmother did not have to pick cotton.
Did your mom pick cotton?
My mother did not have to
Did
pick
you
cotton.
pick cotton?
I did not have to
So
pick
can we
cotton.
get out of victimizing ourselves and living in the past?
Not
can
saying
can
I'm
we
victimizing.
Be good into
I'm
where
just
we
saying
are?
that I'm not going to forget what
don't
they
have
had
to
to go
forget.
through, because right now
I don't
there
forget.
are a lot of people trying to push us right back to where they were. Let's take color out of it. Let's just be women, right? With everything that's going on in the laws and everything that's going on in our country right now with women, a lot of people fail to realize that just in 1974, women were just given the choice, the ability to own their own businesses and have bank accounts. Just in 1974. I was born in 1982. That was 6 years before I was born. It wasn't that long ago. A lot of the stuff that is being rescinded, a lot of the things that the laws that they are changing and stuff are things that we just got changed. So if we're to feel like 400 years was so long ago, or 100 years or 200 years or whatever, it really wasn't that long ago. You got Nancy Pelosi, who is still in Congress right now, and she was born in 1920 something. I just told you my great grandmother was born in 1900. You can't tell me that the ideas and the things that she saw and believed and how she thinks that the world should work isn't affecting us right now. It wasn't that long ago. There's still people around. Ruby Bridges was the first Black woman to integrate schools in Little Rock, Arkansas. She's 69 years old. How old is your mom?
My mom is 62.
Exactly.
I get everything
you see
you're
what
saying.
I'm saying? So that's why I
disagree
like,
with nothing you said.
I can't.
I'm not living in that though. I can remember it and appreciate it and make the change and want to keep focusing on making changes.
Right.
And that's why you have Black women in Congress. You have Black women running companies. You got Black women doing all of this stuff.
And you have a lot of white people trying to, and you have a lot of white people trying to stop.
I'm not worried
that
about
right
what
now.
that's. I'm not worried about that.
But
I know it's there. I know it's there, but my day to day is not what the white man is going to do to me. My day to day is to make sure that I am great in what I'm doing, and I can pass that down to my children to be great in what they're doing. If that comes, I'll deal with it. I know it's there, but my focus is not the white man.
And I feel you, because I'll never be the person to be like, oh, the white man is the reason why I'm down or whatever. But waiting for it to happen or waiting for it to be a problem is too late.
So then don't own a business.
No, it's not even about owning the
don't
business. I give
don't
you,
own
for
your home.
example,
Don't just go back to old school if that's the thought process.
okay, what we're dealing with right now with ICE picking
Mhm.
people up and putting them in whatever, trying to take them to Guantanamo Bay or whatever.
Mhm.
This is a prime example of we've waited too late. And the reason why I say that is because we can look at our history and go back in history and see where they used to pick up the Asian people and put them in exterminate camps, and they didn't have any rights. We're literally living in it right now.
My
and
mom just went through a whole thing.
Exactly. And
but she did what she was supposed to do. ICE is not going to take her because she went by what she was supposed to do.
And a lot of people have gone by and done what they supposed to do.
They wouldn't be going taken away. My mom is a living. I have a whole mother that pushed me out of her coochie. Trust me, I know. I know the process.
She's doing everything she's supposed to do right. But there are tons of stories of other people who have gone and done things that they're supposed to do the right way. And it's not necessarily ICE, but it could be that one person, like you said in the movie, it's that one person that you're with right now who still has that mentality that they do have the power over you right now. They do have the authority. And yes, it's messed up what they're doing. And yes, they're wrong, but you got to go through all of that before you can even hopefully get out of it. And you might not get out of it. Everybody's not going to. And so it's the thought that, yeah, I'm good right now. I'm fine right now. And I got these blinders on and I'm only going to pay attention to what I'm paying attention to right now. But doing that, you might be setting your child up for something that they have to deal with that you're not going to have to deal with.
So what's your solution?
Unfortunately, I can't come up with a solution.
So then you stay in thinking about that?
No, I don't stay thinking about it. I do what I can do on my side. And I make sure that I bring awareness because of the platform that I have. I make sure that I talk to my kids in certain ways and I tell them certain things. I make sure that when I can, if I see something that I don't think is right, if I can, reach out to the right authorities or reach out to my Congress people, or I do the things that I can do personally. I'm not the type of person to just sit here and talk about it and not bring, try to do something or bring awareness. And I understand in the community how that is an issue for us, but we can't be complacent too and just be like, well, this is tis is life, because that tis is life will end up, we on the side of the road building trains and stuff, and tis his life.
So with not living in tis life and bringing awareness and not doing anything about other than talking about it and bringing awareness, what's the difference of what Tyler Perry's doing?
But it's not just not talk. Like, I don't think we're just talking about it. Black Lives Matter is us trying to do things. Jasmine Crockett is us trying to do.
Well, that was me asking you. Yeah, I said, what would be the solution?
You said me. I mean, I can only tell you the things that I'm doing, but there are other people out there who, like you said before, aren't getting the media coverage or whatever else, and they're doing the groundwork. Like, there are people out there who are working towards it. And again, I don't fault like Tyler Perry is getting people paid. He gave Sinbad a job. He gave what's it called it Cicely Tyson a job. He's paying people the amount of money that they deserve. I'm not against Tyler Perry in no way. I'm just saying, for my psyche, I have to filter certain stuff.
I get you.
And he's just he continuously makes stuff that I have to say, oh, I can't watch that. You know what I mean? Like, if he came out with something that was different, like, that's his genre. If he came out like, okay, I'll give you for example. Tyler Perry is a producer on Star Trek. Those new Star Trek movies that came out a couple of years ago, he was in them. Oh, I watched all of those. I watched them over and over again. That's a Tyler Perry production, and I watched that. But this other shit he's putting out makes me want to go out and do bad things to people who do bad things to people. And I don't like, I'm that friend.
So
you can't tell
awareness.
Me that buddy did something to you, because I will hit him with my car.
I get it.
I
and I also,
his mama and
I
tell
am not
her all the weird things he do. Don't tell me.
Yeah, I don't feel like I don't feel like it's bad for people who don't want to watch it. But I just don't like people saying like he's trying to bring us down and he's just doing what everybody
Yeah.
else is doing, but he's showing a different realm. Like you showing police brutality. You're showing this. You're showing how black women can't get ahead. You're showing how the government won't let a black woman be president of the United States. He's showing the hood. He's doing nothing any different than other people. The reason it's triggering is it's so relatable and we don't want to see ourselves to make the changes. So I saw certain things and I was like, I'm grateful for my stove, or I'm grateful that um the siding is falling off the side of my house. Not a project like concrete floors. I want my carpets clean. Thank God for my carpet. So when I see stuff like that, it reminds me of what I have. It reminds me of her mental state of where she was, where I got in my car and drove hours to where I left out of Georgia. And I'm a person who can't go 10 minutes up the street without GPS. I snapped. So I was like, that's how that could happen. Something so small made me get in my car and I created a whole life. I can't,
Who you
to
talking?
this day,
Who you talking?
I can't, even with this girl,
Who you talking?
I
to?
can't go a day and turn my phone off because somebody's going to think something's going on with me because of that one time I snapped. And I didn't even do nothing crazy. I just got in my car. I did turn my phone off. I turned my phone off and I got in my car and I just drove. I didn't care where I was going to end up. And it was something so simple, but it was so much going on in my mind. I snapped.
Hey, look.
Prior to that, let me see real quick. Prior to that, growing up, I always thought I was just a moody child. I didn't know there was a such thing of depression. I didn't know like none of that. There was no terms for stuff. It was no awareness. There was no awareness for stuff like that. So we always, and I've said this on my show before, when we used to live in a different places, it would just be me, Tori, and a kid, whether Tay was born or not. It was either his child or I would have a child. We always had an extra bedroom because I needed a place to my zen space. Had no clue why I needed a zen space. Had no clue why around holidays I'm like the most depressed I've ever been. Learning years later is such thing as seasonal depression. There was no term for it. Never knew I was dealing with depression. I just thought, oh, I'm a moody. I just tell people, child, I could be in a good mood today, and then later it was normal. It was something I've always done. And I always say now I can tell when I'm getting into those when I stop caring about everything. I don't care about how I pay my bills. I don't care about leaving the house today. I don't care that I need to get this done. I don't care that I can have piles of clothes on one side of my bed. I don't care about folding these. I just don't care. I don't care about anything. That's when I know, okay, you're about to snap back out. And I'm able to channel within those. Some days are harder to get out of than other days, but I know how to manage it without being on medicine or being checked into Riverside. Like I know how to do all of that stuff now, but it's still triggering to watch in a way like she don't have support. I do.
So I kind of grew up in a household where definitely kids are seen or not heard, and you are told your opinion. I wasn't allowed to have real, or at least I don't feel as though I was ever allowed to have real opinions. I can remember, I don't like carrots. Yes, you do. Eat carrots.
Yeah.
Or I don't
Eat
like
this or
sweet potato.
starve.
Yeah, I don't like sweet potatoes. Yes, you do. I just threw those up. I'm not gonna eat them. Yes, you are. You're not getting up from this table till you eat those. So for me, control or the ability to express my emotions has always been very difficult for me.
Mhm.
So the moment when I did get to a point where there's nowhere else for any of these emotions to go,
Mhm.
and I just snapped, everybody looked at me like nothing, like, why did you do that? That was weird.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Whereas I'm around people who consistently have emotional breakdowns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so my snapped moment was because I could see myself becoming other people. Like, I'm so much of an empath that if I'm around you too much, I'll start taking on your personality traits.
Me
I'll
too.
start taking on your ups and downs. So, Kels, if you're down and I'm really, really around you, then I'm probably going to be a little depressed and down too.
Same.
And once I started realizing that about myself, and also realizing that, like, I don't need a safe space that I have all the time, but I do have to be able to run away every once in a while. Like, I have to be able to just be alone in
Mm-hmm.
my own little area and just,
Yeah. And
whatever.
think
Being married, you don't get that option. Or if you've never learned how to ask for it and require
that
it
part,
and
because I had it
demand
and I
it,
was married.
yeah, you
I
don't
had
get
it.
that. So 15 years of dealing with ups and downs from other people and other emotions and kids' emotions and parents' emotions and everything else. 15 years of keeping myself under control, or my emotions under control, and not allowing myself to have multiple feelings or whatever, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, just always trying to be that rock or that safe, happy space for everybody. Eventually you will break down.
Yeah.
I think, like, taking it back to the Tyler Perry movies and stuff like that, I think if I was to consume some of that stuff, I probably would have broke down sooner. I
Gotcha.
probably would have, like you said, seen myself within some of those people or whatever and lost my shit sooner or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even in the crash out that I did crash, it still was very controlled.
Yep. It was. It very much was. No,
It's
seriously, it was.
it still was a very mentally thought out method. Like, I can't go
Mm-hmm.
back and be like, oh no, I'm sorry, I just lost it. No, I
Mm-hmm.
did lose it,
Mm-hmm.
but I was so controlled in my blow up. Like it's like in the desert when they're testing stuff and they're sitting in the room and they're watching it and everything.
Yeah.
Like, I
You saw
watched,
it.
yeah,
You was an out of body
yeah,
experience.
I saw everything happening. And I just was trying to explain it to y'all in a way so y'all could understand what I was seeing. But there weren't really words that could express it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I sent you a picture.
Yeah. Yeah. That part.
Like, see?
That part.
And even still, unfortunately, from some people, the response was, get your shit together and go back and do whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Some people
We
don't get
human.
some people don't get the ability to actually break
But
down.
the this is the part two, and then I'm gonna take a quick break. Because I've been where you are, and I tried to sweep everything under the rug just for it to pile up so big that when it came out, I couldn't breathe because of the dust. I wanted you to crash out. Where most people would probably be like, you're not a good friend because you let. No, because it's going to happen regardless. It's how much she can take before it actually happens. When she wanted to crash out on Monday, January 1st, and y'all didn't let her crash out until, not let her, she was going to crash out by December 31st. If y'all would have let her crash out on January, by February, she'd get herself together.
Mm-hmm.
So I always say, and I tell Sunshine this all the time because of things that she goes through, things that I go through. I'm gonna let you get as close to that cliff. I can see it. You can't. You in the midst of this. You see all the dirt on this on this ride, and all you see is this ledge going
Getting closer and closer.
60 miles, 70 miles, 80 miles. That's all you looking at. I'm looking at, if we go over this thing, we gonna die. I'm gonna be like, Sunshine, you either need to go left or you gonna need to go right, because if you go straight, you're gonna go over the cliff. I have a life. I have kids. I have family. I got a business. I'm gonna get close to this cliff, and I'm gonna try my best to steer you left or right if you don't do it. If you decide you want to do it, you going over that cliff by yourself. I'm not going over the cliff with you. But if it allows you to, when you get to the closeness and you stop, you like, because some people, they don't have, I think it's courage to kill yourself.
Me,
some people,
I don't. I'll tell you.
You don't have courage to kill. I don't have courage. So if Sunshine slams on that brake right at the edge of that, I guarantee she gonna be like, okay, I got it. I got as far to this edge as I'm gonna go. I can't get no further. Let me turn around and get this together.
But wait, KELZ, but what actually happened? Not only did Sunshine get to the edge and see the edge, she said, F it, I'm gonna punch it. And I'm gonna
I
jump.
put my parachute on.
Yeah.
And I open that door and it says,
and it's so crazy because, and I love you for this, because I have still said, and I've said this to other people, KELZ said, if you do this, one of two things is you have to see it this way.
Yep.
And what did I say to KELZ? Okay, bet.
I said, you are going to die. You're either going to die or you're gonna be alive and you're gonna be paralyzed from the neck down. Either way, it's not a good look for you.
And guess what I said?
Okay.
Guess what I said?
She said, okay.
I said, okay.
But
But
I didn't
also,
sugarcoat you and be like, well, if God got you, he'll put a parachute over that car and you won't hit the ground. No, God gonna be like, I tried to tell you too.
she said you gonna Christopher
God
Reeves
gave you
yourself.
KELZ. That's where God stepped in. He gave you KELZ.
She said you're about to Christopher Reeves yourself, and I said, okay.
She thought it was an action movie. And you can say cut at any point.
Okay. But I will say this: everything that I did up to and after that moment, I took full responsibility for it, and I took full accountability for it, and said I did that, and I'm not going to sit up here and act like it wasn't by choice.
And I didn't have to keep saying I told you so and every day drumming it down her throat, because I told her beforehand, you already know there's no point in me having. Now as a friend, what do we do next? That's it. That's the extent of my friendship. Right or wrong, I got your back. But in private, I'm gonna tell you wrong. Mm-hmm. You could slap somebody that didn't touch you, and you'll be like, I just wanted to slap her. What's she gonna do? And she ready to fight. Don't touch my friend. Mm-hmm. But when we get home, Sunshine, why the heck you hit that girl? That was not right. That girl didn't do nothing to you. But I ain't gonna say that in front of everybody else. Mm-hmm. That's the friend I am.
And look, this is the thing about me. I appreciate all the friends that I have in the capacity that they are, because I had one friend who was sitting up there cheering me on for real. Like, I had to get off the phone with her because she was like,
I am not going to cheer you on.
Not only was she cheering me on, she was like, that's not enough. Yeah. Do more. And I was like, wait, wait. That was the control. That was the control of it. Wait,
I'm glad
I can't
you had
do it like that.
I
had to do it another way. I had a whole nother friend who was like, she didn't even want me to get in the car. She was like, don't do nothing.
That's
like,
a good friend too.
Don't do nothing. I was like, I had to stop talking to her. I was like, no, for real. I told her, I'm not going to talk to you.
You don't want to hear that right now.
No, I was like, please.
I don't want to hear that
right now. You have to let me crash out. You have to. It's going to come out regardless.
It's going to come out regardless.
And that's why I'm always a big believer in Acts 3, in the power of 3. Ask 3. Ask 3 different people that you really believe have your best interest at heart, and you know those 3 people are going to give you 3 different opinions. If you are only asking 3 yes men the same question, you're going to get the same type of response that you want.
Exactly.
My grandmother, when she passed away, she was one of my 3.
Okay.
She was like my wisdom 3.
Mine was my 1. I didn't care about anybody else's opinion.
She was
and I was so lost when she died. I was like, I don't know how to do life.
I was able to find that with certain conversations with my grandpa.
Gotcha.
And then he passed away.
Damn.
Yeah. So now it's like I have to find my 3 within myself more. Mm-hmm. But there are certain people, depending on the conversation and what it's about, that I will allow them to be one of my 3.
Yeah.
Something I haven't done in a long time that used to be a part of my 3 was to ask a stranger.
Because they have no
skin in the game.
They have no skin in the game.
They don't know nothing about you,
and they just
don't
giving
know
a
nothing
strict
about
opinion.
the other person. They're just going to give you a strict.
That's smart
opinion.
I need to do that. I'm gonna do that today. Hey, I don't know you, but let me tell you my business real quick. But before I go to break, I wanted to wrap this whole movie up. The Straw. So apparently, there is a movie that was called Break-In, and before that, it was called 892. This story was about a vet.
This is a real story?
This is a real story.
Okay. Now that would make me watch it.
But it doesn't change anything that happened with it. It's just showing the hardship of veterans. I'm not a veteran, so I could be empathetic to it, but it wouldn't be a mirror for me like it would veterans. So somebody said he went into a bank. He let every customer leave, which was different from her. She didn't let every customer leave. He didn't hurt a single person. He even spoke with 911 and the news, explaining his situation. Negotiators arranged for the hostages to be released, and still they shot him in the head. So he actually died. He didn't walk out in cuffs like she did. He didn't get help. He got a bullet. And it was pretty much saying that she was upset, the person that wrote this, because she's a veteran. She don't feel like there's enough awareness for veterans.
And I feel so sorry for y'all right now because of all the cuts that Trump has done to the veteran services and veteran suicide services. And so if you guys need any help, if you ever have any questions, I'm about to put I have the suicide hotline phone number up here. I'll find it and put it up here. But if you ever need to talk, I don't care if you know me or not, you can jump in my DM and I'll listen to you and I'll talk to you and whatever else, but you are loved and needed. And I have like service members in my family, so I understand what y'all go through. And because they have cut all of y'all funding, because y'all don't have a place to go or anybody to talk to, I give my phone number.
And
Like,
can you help me with something? I was dead serious about this too. So I watch a lot of videos on relationships. So I'm kind of like you. How you are with movies is how I set my algorithm for social media. So on my social media, I like to, even though I'm single, I like to watch married couple challenges and like happy stuff with couples. So I'm always watching something with couples. I don't want to hear from single women because I'm single. I watch puppies, and everybody sends me dog videos. Good Lord. And apparently everybody sends me line dance stuff too. That's not set to my algorithm, but it's just in there now. And I watch videos with men and their kids. I love watching good dads. So I have this thing where I have my own little hashtag, KELZ loves dads.
Type in Black Boy Joy. That's a good one too.
Ooh, okay. That's just all about men and their
Black
kids.
boy, they just run black men smiling, frolicking, laughing, happy. Black boy joy.
So that's what I like. And then it's men's health awareness month. So I'm gonna come in the rest of this month on Mondays and talk about men's mental health. But I like watching men with their children. I love watching puppies. I love watching relationships. And I literally just forgot my damn thought of why I said all of that. God damn it.
You were talking about me and how I filter what I watch or how I filter my algorithm or whatever.
Yeah, it was a reason I said that though, and I don't remember what that reason is. That's what happens when you turn 40. I'm 43. And my thoughts, if I don't get it out right there in that very second, and somebody says one little thing that
squirrel, that's called ADHD.
It's done. It's gone. That thought is like in the universe somewhere. I gotta find it. So yeah, but I do have my algorithm set to happy stuff. I always like to see happy stuff, and I just want to stay within that. So I don't have a problem with watching movies or TV shows or watching things that shows what people would consider the negative side of things. And again, let me just wrap this up too. But you did say something earlier as far as like wrapping up this whole Tyler Perry thing. Baby Boy is a great example. And I love the fact that you brought that up because there are so many men that are like Jody. And I would hope that you would watch that movie and be like, damn, I act just like him. Let me go get a job. Let me go get a car. Let me stop treating this woman who will give me the world like crap. There's also a whole bunch of Yvettes walking around. So I would hope that they would watch that movie and be like, you know what? I deserve better than this. I got my own place. It's not the best, but it's mine. I have my son that I take care of. He might not have everything, but I have him. He's mine. And I don't have to keep putting up with this stuff. So sometimes you need these types of mirrors. And then we got to wrap it up.
Okay. I saw that movie one time. Right. And the one thing that stood out to me in that movie to this day is one scene where Snoop Dogg done came home from jail and moved in this girl's house and she didn't want him there. And she like, you just need to get out. And she couldn't figure out how to get him out. And it irritated my soul so bad because I was like, why not just call his parole officer and be like, a part of his condition of his parole is to have a place to stay. And he ain't got one. He ain't welcome here. But instead, you letting this man stress you out.
But she let everybody stress her out. She let her baby daddy stress her out. That's just how she was. So I hope there would be a woman out there that was an Yvette that would see that movie and be like, oh, I want better for myself.
And when we go to commercial break, I'll tell you the other reason why that movie is triggering.
Okay. So we'll be right back. When we come back, I do want to talk about the dating styles. You know, this show is centered around love. Love is cool with KELZ. We talk about relationships. We talk about mental health. We talk about, one day I'm going to be able to have a whole mental health conversation without breaking down. So I'm still within my journey of fixing myself without medicine. So it's going to take me a little longer. So anyway, we're going to break real quick and you're listening to The L.I.C.K Show with your girl KELZ. Hits 92.3.
I gotta be thankful because I know someone lost their life today. And so every moment I endeavor to live life the righteous way. To serve with a sense of purpose and let love light the way. Even if I die today, that's just the price I pay. Just know I try to be kind and seek the divine every night and day. Gratitude for the sunrise, gratitude for the sunshine, Gratitude for the moonlight. Every day feels like a new life. Especially when I meditate. Take a breath and then I elevate. Everything deserves gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. Gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. Gratitude is the fruit of life. The nourishment of the soul when there's no food in sight. When your vibrations are low and you feel blue inside. Gratitude is the attitude that gets you through the night. Never believe in lack or limitations. Anything can be manifested with a little appreciation. I appreciate my life. I appreciate my breath. I appreciate my sight. Gratitude for my health. Gratitude is the happiest mood. Even if I happen to lose, everything deserves gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. Gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. With a heart full of gratitude and a mind full of peace. It's how you should live. It's how you should be. With a heart full of gratitude and a mind full of peace. That's how you should love. That's how you stay free. Yeah, 2020 AD. I just wanna make love. I just wanna make peace. I just wanna stay free. 2020 AD. I just wanna make love. I just wanna make peace. I just wanna stay free. Gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. Gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude.
What's up? You are now tuned in to Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. Ew.
All right, we are back. Hits 92.3 in the Lick Show. So we just wrapped up the movie Straw. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I wrapped up how I felt about Tyler Perry. It is a preference of if you want to watch his movies or not. Sometimes they are too triggering to a point where it will live inside of you for a while and you can't get out of that. This girl was like, I shouldn't even went to work before watching it. So yeah. Yeah. So now we're gonna get into the relationship side. Exactly. Exactly. Like y'all better not try that today. I'm on my last straw.
I'm cashing all checks. All checks.
I don't have my ID. That's okay. Come on, sis. Come on.
Do you have a Costco card?
Just take a picture and show me on your phone.
You
Yep,
ain't got
that's
your
all her
license in your
phone.
phone? You ain't got nothing? Tell
It's
somebody
okay.
send you a picture. Real quick.
Exactly. All right. So that is Straw. So if you have not seen it and you don't care about knowing how the whole movie is, I would still encourage you to go watch it. If it's too triggering, then my bad. My bad. All right. So yesterday I went on air and I said I went on air. I was not here. I went live on Instagram. That's what I'm trying to say. I had a conversation with somebody and he asked me, what are my goals to marriage if I remarry? And I couldn't answer in a way that I felt like was a great answer. I always feel like you have to have a response that makes sense. It has to um yeah, it has to make sense. Sometimes stuff just don't make sense. I was like, I'm 43. I've been married, I've been divorced. I've lived with a man. I've never lived by myself. I've always lived with kids. So my kids have always been there. I own a business, I own my house, I own my car. I come and go when I want to. I date who I want to, how I want to, when I want to. I go out when I want to. I chill on the couch by myself when I want to. I can sleep on either side of my bed when I want to. And I'm like, what is the why of marriage if I did it again? Because I don't need a father for my kids. I don't need a man to pay all the bills. I would like one, but I don't need it. I don't need to feel warm in the morning with someone laying next to me. I don't need somebody to make me feel special. I don't need attention to take me out because I do that. Like I do all of this stuff by myself. So I was like, why do you want to get remarried? And it's just simple because I want to. It's not a need. It's just something I want to do. I am doing everything that I want to do. I'm doing the things I need to do to be able to do the things that I want to do. I want a husband. I don't have one. So it's that simple. And I feel like it's the purest way to marry somebody is because I'm not going in it with a plan of he's going to come in and help me raise these kids, or he's going to help, with this business, or he's going to fill a void of um me having a man on my arm, somebody to wake up to, somebody to tell my secrets to, somebody. I got friends for that. I can have a situationship for all of that stuff. But to marry somebody simply because I love this person and this person loves me and then we're just going to figure out life how we want it to go on our terms, I think it's beautiful. And that's literally just where I am because I've been for a year now feeling like my list has to make sense. I need this, I need that. And then I'm like, you know what? I don't really need this on the list if I have this. So I'm just like, you know what? Ball this list up, figure out who a person is to their core, allow a person to learn who you are to your core, and build on that. It sounds like 20-year-old talk. You would hear somebody in high school in their 20s saying, oh my gosh, I just love him. But when you're in a place where you can do what you want to do, I think it's beautiful. You was about to say something.
I just I think of all these older women that I've seen around, and it's like after their husband die or they get a divorce or whatever, they don't never be with no another man again. They might have a little Mr. Earl that come over every once in a while, but
Uh-huh.
once they get a man out their house, they don't let another man back in their house. And I
Yeah.
just,
And it's beautiful. I'm telling you, it's so beautiful. It's so peaceful.
I want to be one of them little old women in the nursing home, and she got a little old man that be running behind her all the time, and the nurses they be like, oh, that's just Miss Sunshine and Mr. John. He love to stank out of Miss Sun. He don't let her go nowhere. Are they married? Nah, Miss Sunshine ain't getting married again. She say Mr. John love her dirty draws, but she refused to get married again. She ain't doing that shit. Like I could see that. I can see that being my life. I just don't see
Yeah.
myself if this doesn't work out with the person that I'm with now.
Hmm.
Um, I think that I am okay enough to say I am traumatized by people, not relationships. It's
People.
people.
Okay.
I'm traumatized enough by people to know that I don't want to be bitter, but to know that you would have to love me through my pain.
Mm.
And I don't expect anyone to love me through my pain at this point. I don't think people have that capacity. I think there might be a person out there, if you're lucky enough to find that person who wants to put in that effort. But I don't think a lot of people are willing to put in that effort. I don't think a lot of men are
That part.
willing to put in that effort. It might be a woman out there. I might have to eat coochie one day, but I knew that was going to make you laugh. But
Gay.
but I don't see my, like, I'm a companion person. I want a friend. I want somebody that I don't ever have to feel like I can't be myself or I have to regulate myself to be around you.
No, that part.
And if I feel like that, then you're not my person.
Mhm.
And you only have but so far on this journey with me. My real companion, my real person, and I say this and people think I'm weird, is someone who will, even if they want to marry me, if they couldn't, there's no choice, but I still gonna be with her.
Yep.
If you propose to me and I tell you I don't want to get married and you don't want to be with me after that, you were never supposed to be with me anyway. And I'm glad
And if
that,
somebody presses you,
right, then
yeah,
I'm glad that because it's not about just being with me. If that's the case, just be with me.
just be with me.
Because
Exactly.
there, before gay could even be married, it was gay people who was together for years, and you thought they were roommates. You thought Sarah and John were roommates. You did. And they got one room and 3 cats.
When I was in middle school, there was this guy, and I knew he was different, but and he was the coolest, most carefree, head rocking dude I had ever met. To know now, I was like, that dude was gay. He was so cool. I'm like, no wonder he was like a homegirl. I'm in middle school. This was a grown. He was clearly well into his 20s. And he'd be like, y'all need to go on back up there. Don't let these little boys. And he was always doing this. And I used to be like, I like him. I don't know why, but I like him. So yeah, the gay's been around forever.
Yeah, and
it just wasn't a conversation.
right. And it's not that they didn't have love of their lives. They didn't have long-term relationships. They just couldn't do it legally. So
Yeah.
if you really love me, be gay about me.
Be gay. Oh, okay. I'm excited about something that I can't talk about.
Be gay about me.
Be gay about me.
Love me and not need to.
Shout out to what is, dang, I forgot his name again. He is part of tonight's conversations. And this man, when I say this man goes, he wants his woman to go 100 miles per hour about him. He's like, I don't care how many times you think of me. When you think of me, text me or call me and tell me you're thinking of me.
Baby.
He's like, hold on, I'm about to play it because it was really sweet.
Don't give me no man who like no shit like that. And then you respond to, like, don't let me text you and you don't respond. That's different. I'm not gonna like that. But I'm the person, like, okay, I don't know how y'all feel about soulmates, but for me, soulmates isn't sexual.
Yeah, soulmate don't have to be a person of interest.
Yeah, I believe soulmates are two energies that are created in tandem and they fit together. And as you are reincarnated, you hope to find that soulmate over and over again.
Yep.
I personally feel as though out of all the humans that I've met on this planet so far, that I've already met and lost my soulmate.
That's deep.
I do. I believe my grandmother was my soulmate.
My grandma was definitely my soulmate.
And knowing that and feeling that way, right? I feel as if I hope that her soul is reincarnated into somebody else that I can get to know. Of course, it would be a different type of relationship. You know what I mean? That might end up being my grandchild or somebody else's child that I take on as a mentor and we have a really close relationship. But being with a person and really loving that person shouldn't have anything to do with the sexual part of it. And if you really, really love me, or if you really, really want to be with me, being with me and walking with me doesn't always just have to be about the sexual part about it, right? So if there is no sex and there's no friendship, then there's no relationship. I don't care what you say. If there's no sex and there's no companionship, there's no relationship. That's a dead relationship, right?
Right.
But if you have companionship and no sex, I think you can still have a relationship. I think there are a lot of people out there.
Not me.
I think that, I mean, think about it like this.
No, I get you. You can finish your point.
Yeah, think about it
I'm
like
taking
this.
somewhere
Once you
else.
get older, you know what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
got Papa and Nana, and they in their 60s. Well, they still fucking in their 60s.
Thank
They
you.
right. They in their 80s and 90s, right? And they can't necessarily do it like that, right? But they still love each other.
Mhm.
Those are the people who he die on Monday and she die Monday
Yes,
night.
I want that. I still want my fairy tale. I'm just one of
That's
those people
a
that's gonna always want
soulmate
their
to
fairy
me.
tale.
That's a
That's a
soulmate to
soulmate.
me. And for that, I'll always want to be in love.
But you
I
don't
don't
need marriage.
I don't need marriage.
I got you. All right, let me play this. Hold on.
If you thinking about me, call me. Like, call me. Get in contact with me. Like, don't be, it's so many people, man, just try to be too cool for school, bro. Like, I don't want the too cool. I want you to let me know. I want you to lay it out. I want you to yell it from the mountaintops loudly how much that you value me. How much, of importance do I have in your life? Like, how much I'm on your mind? Like, I want to know. Like, yell it out to me. Like, you ain't got to hold back. I'm trying to gauge this and gauge that. Nah, we ain't got to gauge nothing. Let's lay it out. Like, let me know. Am I on your mind? Like, because you on mine. I'm thinking about you the same way. Like, we on the same type of time. It ain't even no need for nonchalance. Let's go 100 miles per hour in that direction. Like, that's what I'm on. Like, I don't like all of that, too cool for school stuff, bro. Like, leave that to somebody else. I ain't on that. Like, if I'm on your mind, let me know. Loudly.
So that made me think of I'm not that way, so to speak. And I feel like it's unfair for someone. I could really, really like somebody, but I'm not a 100 miles per hour type person. Um, and he was like, if you're not like that, then you're not my person. I actually cut somebody off because they were like that. And I just felt like it was way too soon. I'm like, you don't even know me like that.
I think
So
it
there's
kind of
some people that are
depends.
like that.
I am. I'm that person, but I'm also quick with the brakes.
And that's not fair to the person that needs to get there. Some people, I can really like you, and my destination says I'm going to Walmart, right? And I know I got to get in the car. I got to turn the car on. It's got to start. I got to put it in drive. I got to drive 15 minutes. It's going to be some lights. It's going to be some stop signs. I got to find parking. But I know I'm going to Walmart. I'm planning to get there. Where some people like, I just got to get to Walmart and I need to get there right now. And I'm getting what I need out of here and blah, blah, blah. And they're not thinking about the journey that goes through there, because I used to be that. And like you said, I used to be quick with the brakes too. But like, I'm going to Walmart. I need to get what up, blah, blah, blah. And then I see Target. Oh, never mind. I'll just go to Target because it's closer. That's me.
Okay, so for me, I think it's that's my start.
What's the start?
That
knowing you're going to Walmart.
No, like or whatever. Like, okay, for me, if I like you, that's my start. I'm gonna you know how
okay.
some people be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
they be like, okay, you have to earn respect with me, and then you have people who be like, no, you start off with respect with me. Yeah. When we start out, you're starting.
So you
out,
start out on 100, and then it dwindles down.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I
used to start out on 100.
Look,
I'll be in
start
love
out-
with you today.
I
Like,
wanna, hey,
my
I'm
man,
texting
my
you,
man.
I'm calling you because it takes so much for me to like you.
Gotcha.
So once I've gotten to the I like you phase, now I'm just gonna show you that I like you. I like you. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna text you. Hey, did you hear about the turtle crossing the road? I just saw one.
So
Like,
these
I'm
are
that
two
person.
different. So these are two different things. You're speaking on a sense of once I like you, I go 100 versus I like this person. I don't need to get to know this person, but I like you. I'm going 100. I want to call you. I want to talk to you. I want to get to know you. I want to be around you versus you're talking about something different. I'm like that too. Like it takes me a while to like you.
Mhm.
That's the journey to Walmart.
Okay.
Once I get to Walmart, it's I like you. And then I'm
Mhm.
going 100.
Mhm.
So yeah, me and you are the same in that way.
Mhm.
I'm talking about somebody that meets you on an initial attraction and they're like, I just like you and I just want to be around you to get to know you. Cause he was saying stuff like, when a man knows, he just knows. And he want to get to know you and he want to be around you. To me, that's too much if I don't know you. I have to be around you sometimes, get to know you sometimes, and then let this build and let this grow. And then I can determine if I like you or not. I don't know if I like you today. So if I did this with somebody, the one that wrote the book,
Mhm.
we went on a date, and we went on a date on a Saturday.
I still got that book if
He
anybody
wanted
want to see it.
to. He has one too, by the way. He wanted to see me again on Monday. And then he made plans Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of the next week. Like he was just like, I met this girl, I like her. And it went 100 and it crashed 100, just like it.
And that's me. We would have had a
2 months
whirlwind
later.
We would have had a whirlwind 2 weeks, and then at that third week, Sunshine ain't called me no more. Why not? I'm done.
No.
I gave you all that
I'm
I
different.
had. I gave you all that I had. But if it was really supposed to meant to be, you would have
Mhm.
kept me. You would have kept it going. Somewhere in there, you stopped.
Oh, you saying
texting.
the other person changes? Is that what you're saying, or you changed within?
I
that 2
changed
weeks?
because of the other person.
Gotcha.
Because again, like I said, I'm an empath. So I take on, like, if you gung ho for me, baby, I'm gung ho. I was already ready to be gung ho because I don't like
Gotcha.
nobody. So
Mhm.
if you gung ho, let's go. Ho,
Gotcha.
let's go.
Now let's go.
Let's go,
Oh.
ho. You know, you
No,
gung
so
ho,
I'm
let's
a-
go. But
I'm
if
a
you-
initial attraction type person. If I like you initially, I'm thinking about you all the time. If I like you somewhat, I need more time to figure out if I like you. Once I've spent enough time, it's time for me to know if I like you for real. Because I can be like that, but I can be like that, and I just met you today. Be like,
Girl,
oh my
that
gosh,
flip-
I love him.
hey, look,
We had a great conversation at the bar. We didn't even on the first date yet, and I'm
we
like, I
already
can't
had
wait till he
kids
call
and
me
everything.
later.
Baby, let me tell you something. The way that flip will switch on and off,
Mine doesn't.
mine
Once I
flip-
determine I like you, I just like you. Now, I told somebody, if I like you, you got to be prepared for how intense I could be. He was like, what do you mean? You'll know when I like you. Because when I start liking you, it only grows. It's going to grow to a love. It's not going to grow to a however you treat me. I go to that. Like you said, it could crash down. Mine don't go down. It just keeps going up, 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 up. Now I'm thinking about, okay, where do we go from here? Oh, he likes this. Let me get this for him. Or let me call him because blah blah blah. Like now you went from this girl never used to call me till she picking up every phone call. She's wanting to see me. She's wanting me to be around her family. Like it's intense. It keeps growing. Like, dang, I was waiting for this for a long time, and now it's just like, where did this person come from? Now you got to learn a completely different person. Because KELZ that likes you, and I don't even like to use the word tolerate, but I can't think of another word to say. While I'm trying to get to know you, like, is different from I want you to be my man. Like,
I can't
now
even let
you got to get to know this person.
I can't even let you get to know me if I don't like you.
Yeah.
We not even gonna make, like, because I'm not my brain said I'm not kind, but I'm not open to men that I'm not open to.
So let
Does
me
that
say
make sense?
this. I'm a situationship girl, right? I'm a relationship girl too. But if I can't get in a relationship, then I am a complete situation because it gives me some form of relationship because I'm a relationship girl. I can do situationship. The most um verbalness you'll get out of me will probably be sex talk. I'll probably send you some that's me. If we're intimate, you will, and I'm not falling for you, I'll send you a million sexual content. Like I'll see a meme that's talking about situationships or how you did me last night. I'll send you that type of stuff. I won't send you lovey-dovey stuff. That's when you'll know I like you for real, for real. When my whole everything about me is like girly to a point, because I'm always girly around a man because I'm just girly. But when you get the I miss you, or I'm sending you stuff about weddings, and I'm sending you stuff about people being in love and how you make me feel, you don't get that in a situationship. Situationship, you get that when I want you. My
And me,
man,
I
my
might
man,
be
my
testing the
man.
waters. I'm sending that stuff to see how if you catching it, and if you not catching it, oh
You talking about the lovey stuff?
yeah,
Yeah, I
like
don't.
I'm sending.
It take me so
Look,
long.
look.
They be like, I'm
I
a
miss you.
thug.
I'm thinking about you. I miss you. And if I don't get, oh yeah, baby, I'm thinking about you too. Or I want to come see you. You thinking about me? I want to come see you. It just slowly goes away. You start getting called a little bit less. Start answering the phone a little bit less.
Yeah.
Like it just goes away.
It go
Because
away.
I was up here and you didn't meet me here, and that's fine. I gave you time, but you still didn't meet me there,
Yeah.
or you didn't at least try a little bit. Okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm getting to know me is hot cold. And I warn people all the time. I got depression issues. You're gonna have to bear with me. I got mental issues. You got to bear with me. I'm hot, cold, hot, cold. Sometimes I need that alone time. I need that space. And if you can't handle me in that, then we can't go any further. But once I like you, it goes from hot, cold to warm to scorching hot. How you got to really, really like me when I get to scorching hot, or I'm gonna be too much for you. Then I'm the she's too chill out.
I
She
don't
too
think
much.
I've had the ability to show somebody how far I can really go. And
Me me either.
that's
Me
saying a lot
either.
considering my situation.
Two
But
marriages I have not either.
I don't think I've been able to really be like, there's always that part of me that I have to hold and keep under wraps or whatever, because like I listen to everything you're saying. If you're judging me like what I'm saying or how I'm saying it or whatever else, eventually I'm gonna feel like you don't like me. You know what
No,
I
I
mean?
feel you.
Like, and I think that's something too. I was explaining this to my son, so this is a good conversation. I was talking to my son this morning on the way to drop him off for camp, right? And I was just saying, you're on your way to high school, and I just want to start talking to you about girls and different things like that. But if you're going to be the type of man that just wants a girl as a trophy to make you look good, um somebody to enhance who you are, but you don't care anything about her mind, who she is, her goals, her dreams, her aspirations. You're not asking her about herself. You're not studying her as much as you expect her to be studied. You're going to be you need to just be with men. You need to just
Or
be with
just be solo, or just have a situation.
no. And I say this because most men don't like women.
I say this all the time. They tolerate us.
They don't like you
Men
don't like
tolerate, not
women
all
as
men.
a species, as a person. You only see them as something that they can do for you. Like, okay, prime example, Keith Sweat getting up here talking about these young girls, all they want is, bust down bags and Tatiana wigs or whatever, and they don't want to bring nothing to the table. But sir, you have millions of dollars and you're still expecting some little young 20-year-old to come clean up your house and cook you dinner. You literally can afford a maid and a personal chef, but you're still expecting someone to give you a servitude in exchange for what? A dirty ass non-personality type, not showing a person no attention, no affection. Don't ask them no questions about who they are, what's going on in their life, and what they want. And then immediately,
this is supposed to be positive.
It is positive. Because guess what?
These young girls want your money. That's it.
We can teach our sons to treat this next generation of women differently.
Right.
Because like I told him, no woman that's raising their daughters right now are raising their daughters to be that type of woman. So you will be very lonely in the future expecting a certain type of woman that these older men have told you, what do these women bring to the table? We are two human beings. What we bring to the table is companionship. You want to be with a person. If you want a maid, make a lot of money. Pay a bitch.
Period. So starting out the conversation, I wanted to talk about as far as dating styles. So again, I would want to be married, and I agree with that. Teaching the men how to be men. Sometimes they need a man to teach them that. We can tell them, but it ain't. We don't think how men think. Like we think off emotion. They think off logic. So
I don't believe that either.
I do.
I don't believe that.
I do that because a lot of decisions that we make goes off of how we feel.
Have you watched Elon Musk and President Trump inside of all they
Hold on,
feelings?
don't take me off of my points.
These men be
They do. Men be in their feelings, right? But decisions that men make from the core, women make them off their emotion, and that's just not going to change. We're emotional creatures. You just said yourself, you want to feel. We want to feel. Men want to do. That's two completely different things. They tolerate us to get the feel, but they don't need it. We need it.
If they didn't need it, why do they keep pursuing us?
Because they like sex.
No. And what is sex?
It's something to
feel.
do.
It is something to feel.
But
you are feeling emotions.
Right, but they don't have
connection.
to have a person to do that. They don't have to have companion for that. They can go and pay for that and be done with it. We're not going to do that. We need to feel. Right or wrong? Would you allow a man off the street to give you some money to make you feel special in exchange for sex right now?
Me, no. But do I think there are women
you want that
would?
though? Right. But you want that though. So the logical side of you should have said yes. The emotional side said no.
Pose the question again.
You want somebody to make you feel special. You want a man to be 100 about you. This man over here wants sex. He's telling you, I can make you feel, girl, I'm going to call you every day. I'm going to give you what you want. If you want me to call you every day, you want me to call you beautiful every single day of your life. I don't know you. I just met you, but someone told me that's what you needed. I'm going to give you that in exchange for sex because that's all I want is sex. I don't have to have the emotion, but I'm willing to give that to you because that's what you need in exchange for sex for me.
And it'd be
Would you go with
sincere.
that?
Like like, can I tell you just doing it just to do it, or do I feel as though it's
You don't
sincere?
know him. You just met him.
I mean, if when we do it, if it's sincere and I'm getting what I need and you get what you need, then we good.
Then you
But
good.
the problem is that a lot of times men offer that, but they don't hold up their end of the bargain on it.
The end of the bargain is to make you feel special. If you don't
And
feel
they
special,
don't hold up their end of the bargain. You're in a
but in
marriage
order
with somebody,
to
they don't
keep
talk to you no
getting,
more. They don't whatever, but they saying to you, "Oh, she don't give me no
you
sex."
got what you needed though, and then he got what he needed. He made you feel special. You gave him sex.
And if he
don't
stop
have to
making
keep
you,
doing it.
then I'm not going to keep giving sex.
That's the emotional side.
No, it's not. That's the contract not being fulfilled.
What I mean, yeah, to do it again. But I'm saying, if he doesn't give you emotion, then you're not going to give him sex.
If you don't pay me, I'm not going to have sex with you either. It's the same thing.
But I'm saying, if you are deciding we're going to continuously do this, then yeah, that's a different thing. That's all a situationship is. So just get into a situationship. But if I'm saying, like, I need somebody to make me feel special, like I'm having a bad day, and this guy's like, oh, I can make you, I can change your day and make you feel special, but I ain't had sex in a long time and I want sex today. Logically, y'all could just supply each other's needs real quick. But the emotional side of us, we want it to continue to keep going because we need it continuously, where they can be good. They just had sex. They can go on a little longer.
So maybe I am logical, because it wasn't about it keep going on for me. When you described that situation,
yeah,
I wouldn't say no, because
but you said they don't keep up their end of the bargain. If he made you feel special, that was his bargain.
I think I'm under the assumption that this is to keep going though. But under what you're saying, if it was just that one time or whatever,
let's
like
say
we just sitting at the bar and we just yeah. So for me, it's not that exchange.
Yeah,
it's the human part of it.
Yeah.
You're dirty. I don't know you. You're dirty. I don't want whatever you got. Like, ew. Like, did you brush your teeth this morning? Did you wash your hands? Did you boo boo? And like, it's that part of it for me. That's why I need to get to know you, not because.
But most women will be like,
"You're dirty."
I would be. So I have levels to mine. I would be offended if you came at me like that, because I feel like I'm better than that. That's the emotional side of me. It's not logic. It's just, how dare you talk to me like that? You made me feel like trash. When he's like, look, all I said was I'm willing to give you what it is you need for what I need. I ain't trying to put you on social media and tell everybody what we did. I need sex. You need to feel special. We here right now. What's up? I'm like, boy, bye. Versus, right. Now, flip that whole thing. Flip that whole thing, and it's somebody you're attracted to. They give you this same spiel, but they don't give you no kind of promises. You just know this person might be a good person, and you need attention. You know they'll give you attention. You don't have no kind of contract, nothing like that, and we'll do it for that person on the hopes that they'll fulfill their end of the contract. Versus this man was blunt and honest and no strings attached. I ain't gonna lead you on. I'm telling you up front what I need. You're telling me up front what you need. This is safe for us. Let's do this thing. Versus this one over here. No, I know him. I trust him. I respect him. He can do the same damn thing. But because we know him, we'll give it to him in the hopes that he gonna make me feel special.
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
I've done it.
I'm gonna plead the fifth. I'm gonna plead the fifth.
No, I got you.
I can't.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. So I keep saying I'm going back to it and I haven't, but I'm just talking about like the different things and the different styles of dating. Yesterday I made a post. I went live and I was talking about how I date versus how a few of the guys I've tried to date. Um, I don't know if this is any other woman that goes through this, but I feel like men today, lately, the men that I'm meeting are ready for they're ready for a relationship. Now I don't know if that's the gaslighting side, and I'm not offending anybody by saying that you are. I'm just saying in general, it could be. It could be a gaslight. It could be a love bomb to get you to commit to just them while they keep all the other people that they're dating on their end. I'm not going to go off of hypotheticals. I can only go by conversations and the situations that I'm in, that I'm finding the men that I have been dating are wanting to settle into an exclusive dating process. And when I say dating, I mean like getting to know each other, not necessarily in a relationship. One guy really wants a relationship. He was like, when I introduce you to people, I want to say you're my woman. I'm like, whoa, we ain't even got there yet. Another one was like, you don't have to be my woman, but I do want us to cut everybody else off, because how are you going to get to know me and focus on me and find out how much you like about me if you're not focused on just me? And it's the pressure that I've been feeling versus with me. I was that meet you today, go 100, and I'm already putting you in my marriage thoughts. I'm putting you into this is who I'm gonna have a kid with. And then as I'm getting to know you, I'm excluding all the red flags because I've already made you my husband. I can't see the red flags because now I'm in love. And yeah, I said I didn't want this and he does that, I'm gonna ignore it. Or whatever's going on this side, he treats his baby mama like crap. And I said I need a man that like at least respects his baby mama. I'm gonna ignore it because she's a bitch. You start ignoring all that stuff because you went 100 from the very beginning versus me. I'm getting to know people and I can catch certain red flags. And I'm like, is this something I can deal with? Or is this something that's going to keep coming up later and I can't deal with it? So if I can't deal with it, let that go. Versus being with this person and I can't deal with it, but I'm going to keep giving him chance after chance after chance. And then a couple months later, I drop it. Now I got to start all the way over. Hi, my name is KELZ. My favorite color is blah blah blah. Now we got to go out to eat. Rather me, it's like a couple of people. I'm going on dates with these people. We're having the same type conversations, and I don't like this conversation.
It'll be
He
my
don't have
luck
this.
that
He don't keep my attention like this person did. Once I start thinking like I'm not having fun with this one would have been better here, then that person got to go.
see. It'll be just my luck that if I was dating, I wouldn't like two people at the same time anyway. Like I'm just I
Well,
don't want to
that's not
say
the object. The objective is not to like two people.
no, I
It's to
mean like it
have
wouldn't be two people, but again, for me to start dating you, I
yeah,
gotta like you in some kind of way.
exactly.
So I don't think it would be two people, or most of the time I don't feel like it would be two people at one time that I would actually invest that much time with
Gotcha.
anyway. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yep.
Like when I was single, um I could date multiple people, but it was always one person that that person you're just going to spend a little bit more time with than the other people, right? Even if
That's
you're
when I
dating
feel
other
like
folks.
that's when you should cut everybody else off and figure out what's going on with this person. If I feel like I want to spend most of my time with one, like if A is on my mind most of the time and I have a deeper connection with A, and we have better conversations, the hangouts are better, then at that point I don't understand why I'm still talking to B, C, D, and E.
So do you cut B, C, D, and E off if A don't say cut them off? Or do you cut them
Yes,
off on
for
your
me.
own?
It's a conversation you could have. It just depends on, I feel like it's a conversation.
I'm not going to ask.
I think I'm not
Unless
gonna.
unless you tell me the thought of you being with another man is killing me.
You would just keep doing it.
I'm gonna keep talking to whoever because
I probably
don't
won't
feel
even
this,
say anything.
and that's literally how I got into this relationship. Oh, I swear to God. Oh, I swear to God. Literally, it was said to me, the thought of you being with another person is not gonna work.
And that
And
to
I
me,
said, oh, okay.
that has nothing to do with me. You can have that thought, and I appreciate you saying that to me. But if that's not where I am, then I'm not going to cut somebody off because you want me to do that. I have to cut off people because I want to do that. When I make my choice, I want my choice to be clear. I want to be like, I had chicken, I had steak, I had shrimp, and steak is my favorite, and I don't need these others. Versus, I don't want you to eat chicken and steak. I only want you to eat shrimp.
Man, chicken.
But I like steak. I might like
Chicken
steak.
and shrimp go good in pasta. Stop playing with me.
Train choo choo.
CMC said, "Is this a live on the radio or just a pod associated with the radio?" We are a live radio
we are
show.
live right now.
We are live right now. If you wanted to call in, you can. Their phone number is up there. You can be a part of the show and call in. Kels, I meant to ask you that. Are you okay with people videoing in? Because I can always add
you
that
can
feature.
see them ahead of time, right?
Oh, I would never.
I would love that. I would love
would
that actually.
never let a person come in without seeing them first.
I would love that. So yeah, y'all can video in if you want to too.
Yeah,
you can call in 404-254-4347. Again, that telephone number is 404.
Oh, I'm not going to put this down here now.
254-4347. But yeah, so my dating style is, and I would prefer somebody to be that way. What I'm learning is if somebody wants me to, supposedly, if somebody wants me to cut everybody off, it's because they finally found and met somebody that they feel is worth cutting other people off. And that's where the pressure is coming on me, because they're like, I've been dating. I just met KELZ and I like KELZ. So I cut everybody else off. Can you do the same? And I'm like, wait, I just got out here. I just started dating. I don't know if I like you like that yet. So I'm not willing to cut off everybody else. But when I get there, I want it to be on my terms. I don't want a ultimatum. I don't want to feel pressure. I don't want somebody doing way too much to get me here. And I want you to be like, if it's a time and a place where it's too much for you and you just feel like I'm playing games with you, I want you to be confident in yourself and cut me off if you need to. But I don't want a man saying, I can't stand to see you with somebody else. That's probably gonna push me away if I'm not there.
I believe that if I'm ever single again and I have to date again, right? I can date multiple people with no problem. But before I would allow, like, I could give you boyfriend status or treat you like a boyfriend, but before I would actually be like, this is my man, this is my boyfriend, or anything like that, we would have to have dated for at least a year. We have to have spent time in it, because
oh Jesus,
I'm gonna tell you why.
I get you.
Consistency issue.
Yes.
I don't want to. Again, I have no problem saying I'm gonna come with baggage and trauma.
Yeah.
My trauma is a consistency thing. KELZ calls it love bombing. I call it, you start off one way and then you get complacent, or you get too comfortable. I don't want to be around another person, or I don't want to be with a person that feels as though you can get comfortable with me, because getting comfortable with me will start to have me pull back.
Yeah.
And if I'm single and I'm pulling back, you're out of luck. But
yeah, peace.
You know what I'm saying? Like, being in a relationship and pulling back is completely different, because you still have aspects of the relationship that you have to maintain regardless. You know what I mean? Like, the ship still has to run.
Yeah. And then
if you're singular and you're just being companions and you're not holding up your, as you said, holding up your end of the bargain as a companion, that's fine. I just will find another companion.
Exactly. And I think my situation is a little more what's the word? Serious for me. It's because I'm 2-time divorced. So my process might not work for 90% of men. And I completely understand. And anybody that feels like it's too much and they're like, I'm too much of a man, ain't nobody finna, I ain't sharing, like, ain't nobody finna share me. It's promise you, it's not that. My thing is, you don't have to take me to Peru to make me like you more. That's not gonna make me like you more. You don't have to take me to a fancy restaurant. You don't have to call me a million times a day and tell me how beautiful I am, or how you don't have to. I would like you to help financially with my business, but you don't have to do stuff within my business. I just need you to be you, to figure out if I like you. And because I'm going to come as me, and obviously you like me because I'm coming as me anyway. But I need the man to do the same. I need you to come as you, be confident in, if she pick me, cool. If she don't, cool. I want to be chosen. I don't want to be the only, I didn't have anything to compare it to. So when I pick, it's like, there's nothing better than to feel like out of 100 people, you got first place. Some people might see that as, I'm not want to be in competition with anybody. I've dated guys that were dating other women. And the only thing I was saying to myself is, well, I'm just gonna have to keep being me because I want him to like me for me. I'm not gonna try to do extra. I ain't gonna try to sleep with him to try to get him to like me more. Like whatever it is you're doing, if that person likes you, they're gonna like you. If they don't like you, it doesn't matter what you do and what you buy and what you say. It's not gonna matter.
So I just want to say this, fellas, if you're dating multiple women, you don't have to. I don't feel like you have to tell all of them that you're dating them. But the way y'all mess up is you go out with one girl and you go to the movies, right? And you go see Sinners, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then your other girl want to go see Sinners, and you say something dumb like, "Oh, I already saw it, sir, sir." If you're gonna date multiple women, you need to act surprised all the time.
No, I want you. I like having conversations. I literally will tell a guy about a date I went on.
No, if you're dating me, I don't need to know that you went to watch Sinners with somebody else. When this scary part come up, you better jump. Like I need you to be surprised or
Well,
something.
I'm different. I need you to tell me. You don't have to say I went on a date, but you can be like, I saw it, and I'm gonna put two and two together. Oh, you went on a date and you saw it. Okay, cool. Let me figure out something else to do. Because I expect in a dating process that you are dating other people. Now, if you are going into a courting process, then everybody should be out of the way except us two. In the courting, when I start courting you, I want you to be around my family. I want you to meet my kids. I want you to be a part of everything that I'm doing because now I need to see what you're like in my day to day, in my real life, outside of dating other people and we're just hanging out every now and then.
So dating and courting are two different things.
Yeah, dating is just I'm going on dates with people. Courting
Mhm.
is I'm really trying to put my energy into this person. To me, I feel like the more expensive dates and the trips and all of that, and maybe that's the old school side of me. I feel like those could come into the courting side versus dating. But people add all of this into situationships, and that's because most people don't want relationships to begin with. So if you don't want a relationship, then all rules are off the table and you just create your own rules within the situationship that you have. But I feel like when somebody is courting you, that means they are working towards seeing if this person is going to be my person and going into marriage. Dating to me is just dating. If somebody asks me if I'm dating, yes, I'm dating. If you ask me if I'm in a relationship, no, I'm not in a relationship. If I'm in a courting stage with somebody and you ask me if I'm dating, I'm not dating because I'm not going to go on a date with you. I'm with this person. We're not in a relationship yet, but I'm hoping we get there. And if we get there, then all of that is off the table anyway. Because I feel like even when you're married, you should still court your person. You should still take your husband, wife. Y'all still should be having date night. Y'all still should be cutesy with each other. Y'all sex in random places outside of the bedroom. All of that should still be while you're married. So
And that's what I mean by the consistency. If
yeah.
the consistency stops, you'll lose.
And if you don't show me consistency in the dating stage, then I can't see going forward because you're already showing me what I'm looking forward to. I'm
Mhm.
looking forward to you being inconsistent. I don't want
Mhm.
that. So dating me now is probably harder than dating any other person because I've been divorced twice. So it's like
Mhm.
now you gotta be strategic. Now the dates that you entertain matter. The person you go out with matters. It can't just be, oh yeah, he's cute or he's nice. It's gotta be like I see some true potential for me to even waste my time because I've been here before. I don't have to do this again. I could just be out here dating for the rest of my life. So me going out with somebody, it's got to really like I really saw some true potential, and let's see if it's worth exploring. And if I go out with you and it's not worth exploring, now I know you gone. It's a wrap. So yeah, there are different styles of dating. You have the exclusive dating. I meet you, I like you, I want to see where it goes with just me and you. I literally did that. I did that one time year before last. Again, with the guy that wrote the book. I got off of the dating site. I dated him, only him, from the very first date that we went on. And 2 months later, it fizzled out. So I prefer to date multiples, do the process of elimination. And my process of elimination is always have that mindset. If every single guy I was seeing was broke and we had to figure out shelter, we had to figure out food, and we had to keep each other's sanity through serious conversations and laughter. the more I spend with this person, can he hit all of those for me with $0? And if I feel like, oh, he lacks in this, or he's going to shut down and be mad halfway through trying to figure out shelter, or he can't figure out food because he don't talk, or I think about all that stuff. The more I spend with somebody to let me know, like, there's no point of even going any further with this. So that's my dating style. So you are listening to the L.I.C.K Show on Hits 92.3, and that is the wrap of that. We talked about straw for the first hour. I meant to just get into that for like 20 minutes, but it was such a great conversation with my girl Sunshine with All Hustle No Fear. You can check her out every Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. And what is today? Monday. We got Nana Lane. Nana Lane comes on at 6 o'clock this evening. If you do like gospel motivation, then that is a great show for you to listen to. She said we can't call her Nana Lane. She is.
No, I said you can't call her Nana
Right.
Lane.
What
You
they
can call
gonna-
her Nana Lane.
Well, I know I can.
No, they
I'm talking
can't
about
call
them.
her
What did
Nana
you
Lane.
say they have to
need to
call
call
her?
her Minister Elaine
Minister
Sneeze.
Elaine Sneeze. So y'all got to listen to Minister Elaine Sneeze with Faith 3T at 6 o'clock every single Monday. Get your gospel, get your motivation. When I say she has motivated me since I was 17 years old, she will always be my mother-in-law. I love her to death. And yeah, she's been with us 3 years, 4 years. Now, Lane, but it was for a minute.
She's past 4.
She's past 4 years.
She's past 4 years.
Now, Lane been rocking and rolling. I remember she was terrified to be here at first. So yeah, that is tonight. Again, we will be back on Wednesday. We don't do a show on Tuesday in studio. And we have Wine and Women Wednesday. On Wednesday, we are introducing a new segment, Beers and Bros, on Thursday, where guys will be able to interact. They can come into studio on Thursdays. You can't come in on Wednesdays. Guys are dying to come in on Wednesday. You cannot come in on Wednesday. It has to be on Thursday. And then on Fridays, I moved that to Fridays for a reason. And that is Come Rock My Mic, where I'll have different artists to come in the studio, and you'll have to sing live over instrumental track. We have yet to get anybody to bring their instrumental track in and sing over it. So I got to put my foot down on that one. If you don't have independent music, no, we did karaoke. We sung together.
None of those.
Nope. So right. I want actual artists, not just people that just know how to sing. You have to be an actual artist to come in studio on Fridays and sing over your own instrumental track that you sung over when you was in the studio cutting the darn song. All right, so we are out of here. You can find me on all social media platforms at The Real Who Is KELZ. Make sure you follow the radio station Hits 92.3. Follow my girl Sunshine, All Hustle No Fear. Again, make sure you check her out at 8 a.m. Nana Lane at 6 o'clock this afternoon. And y'all have a great day. Peace.
Decatur, Lithonia, Conyers, Covington, McDonough, and all surrounding areas. Something Special Bar and Lounge presents Music Bingo and Karaoke. That's right, you heard me. Music Bingo and Karaoke every Wednesday at Something Special Bar and Lounge. On the 1 and 2s, we got DJ P-Joe. Not to mention, we got the host with the most, KELZ. We got drink specials, plus the full kitchen, seafood dip, salmon bites, sweet heat wings, jerk chicken egg roll. From 5 to 7 is our happy hour. Mix and match, 2 items. Looking for good vibes, delicious drinks, delicious food. Something Special Bar and Lounge, 1377 Old McDonough Highway, Conyers, Georgia. The best spot on the east side. Express lunch on the go. Not to mention now open for lunch from 11 to 3 Monday through Friday. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Something Special Bar and Lounge.